Good morning, and welcome to the Todd County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 19th. The time is 9 o'clock. All commissioners are present, along with the auditor, treasurer, and coordinator. Chris will be reading off the names of the people who are attending.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. And just as a reminder, the public is not allowed to attend in person, but they can attend over live stream, and the link is listed on the website. Attending remotely, we have the media, Evie Fowler from rural Minnesota SEP, Jason from Iverson Reavers Law. Attending in person, Chris Odden, Assessor, Steve Ock, Sheriff, Adam Ossifort, Planning and Zoning, Soil and Water Director, Jackie Ock, Lisachapin, and Catherine McAdams from Health and Human Services, Sarah Ogan from Human Resources, and Rick Utek, our Economic Development Director.
We will stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask for amendments to the agenda, and I'll start out with, I would like to add to administration 11.4, which is follow-up discussion on the expo bathrooms. Are there any other changes to the amendments to the agenda? Hearing no other changes, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve with changes.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And passes. Okay, Denise,
Potential consent items today are meeting minute approval for January 15th, 2021, gambling permit for Midwest Outdoor Unlimited, and retirement Sue Pro.
is there a motion for potential consent items?
So moved.
Motion by Kircher, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Knizel. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And carries. Auditor Treasurer, Denise?
The item I have today is to approve the commissioner warrants. Background are sent for your review. The recommendation is to approve the commissioner warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling in the amount of $66,854.06.
Okay, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Erickson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Newman. Roll call, Denise?
Commissioner Erickson,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizel,
Yes.
Commissioner Kircher,
Yes.
Commissioner Becker.
Yes.
The next item I have then is the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants. Background is sent for your review. Recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants with an ACH and a regular manual payment totaling in the amount of $114,520.80.
After hearing, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Newman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Knizel. Roll call?
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizel,
Yes.
Commissioner Erickson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kircher,
Yes.
Commissioner Becker.
Yes.
Next board action is the Health and Human Service SSIS warrants. Background is sent for review. Recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service SSIS warrants with an ACH and a regular manual payment totaling in the amount of $90,781.32.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Kircher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Erickson. Roll call, Denise?
Commissioner Kircher,
Yes.
Commissioner Erickson,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizel,
Yes.
Commissioner Becker.
Yes.
My next board action is the All-County Departmental Change in Petty Cash Fund Annual Approval. In order to maintain compliance with the state auditing standards and statutes, it's recommended to approve annually the change and petty cash funds across all county departments. The attached resolution is reaffirming the petty cash and change funds with one modification since the previous adoption in 2020. The Solid Waste Enterprise Fund is requesting to increase to the main drawer from $60 to $300 change. This update would allow cash-paying customers to have change made easily. Our recommendation is to adopt the attached resolution for the approval of all county departmental change and petty cash funds.
Is there a motion for approval of the petty cash funds?
So moved.
Motion by
Can I?
Kneisel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Newman. Any discussion?
Yeah, mentioned about the solid waste. They said people come with $100 bill to pay a small amount of money, and then they wouldn't have enough money to pay them, so.
That happened quite frequently on Saturdays when they're only open till noon, and then you'd have all these people stopping with a $100 bill and cleaning out their change drawer and no bank to run to get change, so.
Did we ever
That
get the
request.
cards out there, Denise?
They do have credit cards, but a lot
Okay,
of people,
yeah.
if you're coming for, and I don't know why you would bring a $100 bill to have $6 garbage, but
Any,
help them.
Stimulus funds.
yeah. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed and approved.
Next item I have then is to commit fund balance for Building Grounds Improvement Fund for fiscal year ending 2020. A little bit of the background, the Todd County Board of Commissioners established a Building and Grounds Improvement Fund with the objective that the funds be utilized for current and future expenses and held within the county general fund. The Building and Ground Improvement Funds are appropriated and utilized each calendar year. The remaining balance of this account as of December 31st, 2020 is $398,019.62. State Auditor's recommendation is to approve by resolution a commitment of this fund balance on an annual basis for transparent financial reporting. Our recommendation is to approve the attached resolution commitment fund balance for Building and Ground Improvement Fund for fiscal year end 2020.
Okay, is there a motion for the approval of the committed fund balance?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Erickson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kircher. Is there any discussion? If no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? And passes.
The next item is the Todd County Development Corporation 2021 appropriation. Background is the 2021 budget for the support of the Todd County Development Corporation has been approved at $67,000, and a letter of request has been received to transfer the funds. Recommendation to approve the attached resolution to transfer the funds from the general fund to the Todd County Development Corporation Fund. It's a budgeted item.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval of the development funds?
So, second.
Kircher, motion, Kneisel, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And passes.
Our next board action would be the Todd County Parks and Trails 2021 appropriation. Letter has been sent requesting from Todd County the Parks and Trails Board funds appropriation. Our options are to approve the fund transfer or do not approve. The recommendation is to approve the resolution for the 2021 Parks and Trails appropriation funds to transfer $9,000 from Todd County allocated funds to the Todd County Parks and Trails Board Fund.
Okay, is there a motion for approval of the Parks and Funds appropriation?
So move.
Motion by Newman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Erickson. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
It carries.
Next item I have then is the 2020 County Motor Pool Budget Carryover. The background is the Todd County Auditor Treasurer is responsible for the county motor pool and the replacement schedule of vehicles utilized within the county motor pool. Funds were allocated in 2020 budget for the vehicle replacement. However, due to unforeseen circumstances created by COVID-19, the vehicles were not purchased within the 2020 calendar year. Therefore, a request is made to carry over this expense line item to the 2021 budget. Recommendation is to approve the 2020 county motor pool budget carryover per the attached budget request form details in the amount of $58,181.
I'll ask for a motion for the county motor pool carryover.
So moved.
Motion by Kircher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Kanizel. Discussion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may, why didn't we just buy another vehicle last year?
Well, truthfully, during COVID, we were so busy getting everything else that I totally forgot about it because we weren't using the motor pool. And then when it came to the last month of December and I put the bid in, they're like, well, you're not gonna get them, so you might as well do a rollover. And you'll like this one. I think the state bid went to the Ford company this year, so
Oh, that was a good move then on your part, thank you.
I thought you'd like that. See how I just smoothed that right in there?
Oh, what did you schmooze
Yeah.
that one over in a hurry?
I knew it would win him over.
That worked great, okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And carries.
Next item is the appointment of the County Extension Committee, and Suzanne asked if I would read this one as well. The background is based on the Commissioner Newman's recommendation, appoint Shirley Moberg to a 3-year term on the County Extension Committee with the 3 options for renewal representing District 5. The recommendation is to appoint Shirley Moberg to a 3-year term on the County Extension Committee, January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2023, with the 3 options of renewal for the total of 9 years. And that gets a little confusing because it's a 3-year term, but they have the option of extending it out to 9 years. That's why she notates that.
Right.
Gets a little confusing when you're reading it, like it's a 9-year term, but it's not. It's just when the first 3 years are done, she has the option if she wants to renew.
Is there a motion for the extension?
So move.
Motion by Newman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Erickson. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it carries. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here today to schedule the 2020 County Board of Appeals and Equalization meeting. Minnesota statute states that this meeting must happen after the second Friday in June and has to happen before June 30th. It has to be an evening meeting, cannot end before 7 p.m. On the board action form, I have 8 dates listed there. Those dates are Monday through Thursdays. Recommending a 6 o'clock start time. So I'm open to your recommendation on which date. We typically do this on a Monday evening. Doesn't have to happen on a Monday evening, but that's just our typical.
So the Mondays would be the 14th?
And the 21st.
Okay.
Monday evenings are good for me, I know that with my evening.
Which Mondays do we have corrections, Dave?
First Monday.
First Monday, so the second Monday would work for me also.
14th or 21st? Let's do the 21st.
I was gonna say, I might be gone the 14th, so 21st would be better for me.
Okay, 21st,
21st.
Beginning at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. on the 21st. Do you need a motion for this,
I
or
do.
just, you
Yes,
do?
please.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion for 6 p.m. on June 21st.
So moved.
Motion by Kirchers, second.
Second.
Second by Kanizel. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
set. Thank you. Hi, Steve.
Morning.
All right. First one is going to be our acknowledgement of donations received for the K-9 and drone programs. Background, the Sheriff's Office received $31,561.45 in donations for the K-9 donation fund. The Sheriff's Office also received $250 in a drone donation fund. Todd County Sheriff's Office would like the board to acknowledge these donations and express gratitude to the individuals that donated. See attached list for all the businesses and people who have donated. I also sent out letters to the organizations and individual people that did donate. So they got a letter from me also, but it'd be nice to just give them some recognition. They really came through and donated a lot of money.
It was really nice to see that was totally county-wide.
Yes, yep. It was the same thing with our drone program. It was all countywide when we
Yes.
got money for that also. Yep. So, let's see, the board, Todd County Board of Commissioners approves the following motion, acknowledge that the donations received by the Sheriff's Office in the K-9 and drone program account. And we have like $11,392.16 left in the K-9 account, and that will be used up here, I believe in March. He goes to schooling, the dog, and the training's already paid for, but then we gotta pay for lodging, meals, all that, and that'll come out of that 11,000, and any other items that she needs for her squad car or the dog, like plate, sleeve, or anything like that.
Okay, Steve, you're looking for a motion for that then, for approval of that, or is that just,
Yeah,
Just for acknowledgement of the,
we have to acknowledge the donations.
you have to acknowledge, so we'll ask for a motion for acknowledgement?
correct.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Knizel, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Erickson, discussion. Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Second item is for budget carryover. This would be the, background is, Sheriff Steve Ock would like to carry over the Sheriff's Office K-9 donation fund and the drone fund from 2020 to 21 in the amount of $11,390.16. The Sheriff's Office received a total of $31,561.45 in donations for the K-9 donation fund and expended $20,389.80 of that on the purchase of the K-9 training and vehicle upgrades. The Sheriff's Office also received $250 for the donation for the drone fund. Options are to approve the carryover of the funds or to not to approve. Recommendation that Todd County Board of Commissioners approve the following motion, carry over the balance of the funds donated to the Todd County Sheriff's Office and the K-9 donation and drone donation accounts totaling in for $11,392.16. These funds, like I said earlier, would be used for continuing the training costs and for the drone for if we had one crash, real minor, so we had to replace some blades, some propeller blades, which was actually not too bad, like $50. So that's what that balance is used for, is basically unforeseen batteries or whatever we might have to buy for the drone also.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion for the carryover of funds for the drone and K-9 donations. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Kircher, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Newman. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
And again, I'd just like to thank all those businesses publicly again and individuals for donating to those programs. It was a great help. Let's see, next one is the budget carryover for Sheriff's Office funds. Background, Sheriff's Office would like to carry over the balances of Sheriff's Office forfeiture fund, contingency fund, and canteen fund from the 2020 budget to the 2021 budget with the total amount of $28,986.44. I can give you a little more background on that. The forfeiture fund, obviously that's from forfeited vehicles or monies that goes into a fund. We then use those to buy items that we normally wouldn't have budgeted for. Contingency fund, kind of same thing. Let's see, and the canteen fund, that's the inmates. If they buy something, say ramen noodles seems to be the big one that they'll order above and beyond their meals, we get 35% of that. If they pay $1 for it, we get 35 cents of that. And that all has to go back into inmate programming funds, or spent that way. So if we can carry it over, that way we can buy something decent instead of, if we only have a couple $100 and it's hard to buy anything for that. So we try to build that up until we have enough to buy something worthwhile. Total implications, $28,986.44, and obviously the recommendation is the Todd County Board of Commissioners approve the following motion, carry over the funds of $28,986.44.
I'll ask for a motion for the carryover funds for the Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Motion by Erickson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kircher. Discussion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I like how he doesn't give us an option of not approving it. so.
We'll have to talk to Lonnie about that one. He's the one that made these.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed?
Oops.
And carries.
Thank you. All right, I got a slew of them here today, don't I? Next one is, we're looking at squad purchase of a 2021 Chevy Tahoe. This will be a replacement of one of our administrative vehicles. That truck has well over 100,000 miles on, and the problem is it's starting to rust considerably, and we want to get rid of it, and we can still get some decent money on auction for it. Sheriff Steve Ock would like to purchase a 2021 Chevy Tahoe from Ranger Chevrolet of Hibbing. The price of the Tahoe is $38,837.76 on the state contract bid. The squad is budgeted item in the 2021 budget. Options are to approve the purchase of the 2021 Chevy Tahoe or to do not approve the purchase of a 2021 Tahoe. Recommendation, the Todd County Board of Commissioners approved the following motion, approve the purchase of the Tahoe, and it is a budgeted item.
I'll ask for a motion for the approval of the vehicle purchase.
So moved.
Motion by Erickson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Knizel. Discussion? Hearing no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Passes.
All right, my last item up for bid is purchase a UTV, be a 2021 Polaris Ranger 1000 XP, and this would be out of Northland Sports up in Eagle Bend. Sheriff Steve Ock would like to purchase a 2021 Polaris 1000 XP North Star Crew from Northland Sports Center located in Eagle Bend. The price of a 2021 Polaris with tracks in the amount and mounts is $28,049.60. The Sheriff's Office will be trading in a 2002 Sportsman 500 with the purchase trade-in value as $2,000. Total purchase after trade, including license, is $26,167.10. The Polaris Ranger will be purchased with forfeited funds, so this won't affect levy dollars. That would be the funds that we just moved over. Options would be to approve the purchase of the 2021 Polaris Ranger and to do not approve the purchase of the 2020 Polaris Ranger. A little more background, we do have currently we have two snowmobiles and two four-wheelers, one that would be traded in. We'd get rid of another snowmobile, keeping one snowmobile, and then also the other four-wheeler would go. If we get this approved, we'd bring those up to New York Mills for auction, and that would go towards this price also. I'm hoping to get anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 for those two machines. So, recommendation to approve the purchase of the 2021 Polaris Ranger.
Okay, I gotta have just a little bit of discussion on this, because for what we had passed for carryover, you're about $6,400 short of
Yep.
what you had.
Yep, and
And so
like I said,
where's that additional funds coming from, I guess?
the sale of
You said this.
Lonnie's pickup, that was a forfeited vehicle back in the day, so that'll go into the forfeiture funds. So that'll be an additional, I'm guessing we probably get anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 for that vehicle. And then plus we're gonna sell an additional, excuse me, an additional four-wheeler and a snowmobile. And we should, I'm guessing, get anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 for those two machines. So that would put us above and beyond the $26,000. Because the fund's almost at $20,000 already, it's just short of.
Yeah, you're short about,
Yeah.
6,400. Okay. So it will come from sale of other
Correct,
forfeited
correct.
that are not listed in here.
Yep, because we didn't get approval for the truck into our Tahoe. We'll be replacing a forfeited vehicle. That sale of Lonnie's pickup will then go in here because it's a forfeited vehicle that we had paid off,
Okay.
so.
So the paperwork will be coming later, but the money will be already in the pool to buy this?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep,
okay,
by the time we get it, the vehicles will be gone and sold.
okay. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Kircher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Knizel. Discussion.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the wheels with it, right?
Correct. We'll have
So-
tracks and wheels.
Tracks and wheels, so
Yep.
you can be able to take them off and
Correct. In
on.
the summertime, we'll use it like at the fair and other events.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Passes.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you,
Appreciate it.
Steve. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning. Have we confirmed if Jason is on the line?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you, Jason. Thank you.
Good morning, Jason.
Okay, so my first item here today is the DC Lien Addition Preliminary Plat. A subdivision request to establish a 20-lot preliminary plat on parcel 1500400000 was approved by the Planning Commission on November 5th, 2020. It was brought before the board on November 17th, 2020, where it was remanded back to the Planning Commission. The item was then reviewed by the Planning Commission on December 3rd, 2020, and January 7th, 2021. And the final recommendation from the Planning Commission was to approve the preliminary plat with the following conditions. 1, completion of a wetland delineation. 2, submittal of a stormwater management plan designed by a licensed engineer. 3, installation of a stormwater management plan prior to final platting. 4, placement of a public right-of-way turnaround area at the east end of Fawn Drive. The turnaround must meet the county standards and be designed by a licensed engineer. 5, creation of covenants addressing who is responsible for maintenance of the stormwater management practices. 6, lots 1 through 7 shall be restricted to accessory structures only. No residential development will be allowed on lots 1 through 7. And 7, the developer and future property owners must obtain appropriate permitting when necessary from other governmental agencies, including but not limited to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency and the Sauk River Watershed District. The options, 1, move to approve to the establishment of the DC Lien Addition Preliminary Plat with the proposed conditions. 2, move to deny the establishment of the DC Lien Addition Preliminary Plat. Or 3, remand back, which is an option really based on the timing of the application. But the recommendation at this time would be approval of the DC Lien Addition Preliminary Plat with the proposed conditions.
Okay, I will ask for discussion only at this point. We've had several different meetings on this plat, so for discussion only at this point.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Since this is my district and it's a fairly large plat, some concerns of mine are, number one, I have not heard from Gordon Township or Leslie Township if they have discussed the road situations in their meetings, because they share 210th Street. 210th Street is basically a dead end there, where it basically stops kind of up by Battle Point. This is going to increase a lot of the traffic. We're not the road authority in this area. That's the township.
I guess, if I can, because our meetings have been on this road, and it's such an interesting road, and I don't know, do you have any maps with you, Adam, that you can
I don't think I
show
have
everyone
one with, no.
what we're talking about?
I do not
Or
have
not?
the preliminary plat or the aerial with me.
Oh, well, what it ends up is there was a plat that was done several years earlier that went through a ravine, and then they did a cul-de-sac. Now, this plat is coming from the other side of the ravine, and they want to do another cul-de-sac. The discussion has been, is this road, if a culvert should be put in that ravine, and a road should be gone over it instead of putting in 2 cul-de-sacs. And that's the discussion. The discussion's also been, is the township board is actually meeting
Tonight.
So we could not get their recommendation prior to today's meeting. And we would like to have the township input in this before we go ahead and pass this.
So, Madam Chair, Jason,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman here. So we got some situations here where they've changed the design of the cul-de-sacs like a hammerhead cul-de-sac and not a 150-foot diameter cul-de-sac that has been required in Todd County in the past, can that come back and bite us in the butt?
I don't have that provision of the code up if it sets a specific radius or diameter for the cul-de-sacs, but if it doesn't, the fact that it says a different radius or diameter than the previous ones would not be harmful. There's no precedent. Each application's looked at it individually. Now, if the ordinance or regulations do specify a specific diameter or radius for cul-de-sacs, then we'd have to be looking at possibly some type of variance procedure away from those performance standards or requirements.
Because the townships, well, especially Leslie, they have been requiring a 150-foot diameter cul-de-sac. Now, this road is a public road right-of-way, privately maintained, okay? The other side of the ravine is a public road right-of-way maintained by the township, okay? In order for the township to take that private public road right-of-way over, that has to be built to township specs or county specs, but we, as a board, are trying, we have to make that decision if it's a Class A, Class B, Class C road, okay? So, but yet, we're not the road authority. The township is the legal road authority. So we've had other plats that we've had come through this board that we've required certain situations similar to this and made them improve the road or give up road right-of-way access. So I don't know what to do. I'm trying to do what's right, and I've thought this over all weekend, and I was like, why should I give a crap? But we can't keep thinking in 1930 mentality and say, just because nobody wants a cul-de-sac or doesn't want the traffic, that we should continue with cul-de-sacs when the taxpayers of Leslie Township, these people are paying taxes and getting nothing for road benefits.
Board Chair, Commissioner Newman, can I respond to
Absolutely,
points that was raised by Commissioner Newman?
yes.
I understand that Fawn Drive is a publicly dedicated roadway from a plat, I think, from the 1940s. It, however, has never been opened or maintained by the township. And the question now becomes, with this new plat on the south side on Drive, can you require that roadway be improved up to a certain standard? And I think Commissioner Newman mentioned county A, B, or C standards. I'm not familiar with those standards, so I'll just say generally a county standard. With the idea that it meets that standard, the township would then be willing to open it and take it over. So I think I indicated in an email I sent to Adam about that. There is a possibility that you can require the developer to pay a portion for that road improvement. You cannot, however, in my opinion, require the developer to pay the full cost to upgrade that road to whatever applicable county standard. They only put on one side of the road, and I would say that the lakeshore lots would have to foot the bill for the other half of that road improvement, which how do you go about that? As a county, it's difficult for you to, what mechanism do you have to require those properties to pay for that? And that's where, if that's a requirement, again, I think the developer, most you could require is half, and then for that other half, the county would have to work with the township, and the township would have to specially assess each of those lakeshore lots for their pro rata share of that 1/2 improvement cost. That's something to consider. as you look at this. And, you know, as far as the diameter of cul-de-sacs, you know, if the townships have certain standards that I'm not aware of, you can certainly look at that and require it to be met. But I think, and the last thing I would say is the discussion regarding this culvert to the east of the development. Again, I think you're having a hard time proving that requiring this developer to pay that full cost of that culvert is rationally related to his or the developer's development. Again, that cost would probably have to paid by the township. The township's going to have to especially assess the adjoining property owners.
So Jason, I'm going to tell you a personal story that happened to my mom and dad. When they platted their farm out when I first got elected, that one of the requirements were that my parents had to give up the land and pay for the cul-de-sac before it got approved by the county board. And that is a 150-foot diameter cul-de-sac in Leslie Township, about a mile from this location. Nobody reimbursed my parents that I'm aware of, but that was one of the requirements put on my parents.
And Board Chair, Commissioner Newman, I don't have the cul-de-sac standards in front of me in what is required as far as the diameter or radius. I do know that one of the conditions of this is that the developer would be paying the cost to install that cul-de-sac. And if I look at Lot 7 of the plat, it appears that that cul-de-sac is being developed on Lot 7, so he's giving up part of the land there. So they are bearing the cost. And I'm not saying for the cul-de-sac that the lakeshore lots would have to pay for that. You obviously have the condition for the developer. It's actually going on the developer's land. I think you can say the developer would pay the full cost of the cul-de-sac. But I am just indicating as for the rest of Bond Drive, west of the cul-de-sac, if you're going to require that to be brought up to county standards, I'm of the opinion the developer would only be on the hook for half that cost, and the rest of the cost would have to be spread out amongst the lakeshore lot.
Jason, can we put that as a condition on this moving forward?
Chair, I didn't quite hear that. Could you say that again?
I said, can we put this as a condition of this contract moving forward? This is not the final, this is just a preliminary, correct?
Yep.
Right. So what would be the condition that you would want to be putting on? I guess I'm confused with that.
Well, the developer would have to pay for part of the road. Our problem is we don't even know where the township wants to come in on this yet. They meet tonight. So I hate to put a condition on this if that's not the condition the township wants. So I'll bring another, no, we have 10 days and the board has to do something or it will be approved with no action from the county. Do we want to?
Right. My understanding is you're running up against the 120-day period under Minnesota Statute 1599, the 60-day rule.
So
you have 10 days from today in which to make a determination. Otherwise, it would be approved and there would not be conditions attached to it, I don't believe. So, you know, is it reasonable to wait for the township to weigh in on this? There's no doubt that I think that's reasonable. I think what you need to be cautious of and how you work around this is that you want to make sure that you give yourself enough time so that you can make a decision within that 120-day period.
So then my discussion with the commissioners is, would you be open to having a meeting? Well, we'd have to wait 3 days, correct? We have to post it for 3 days. So the meeting could be on, what, Friday? We post it today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we could have a meeting.
Madam Chair, with today being Tuesday, with the township meeting potentially tonight, that would mean if you made a decision tomorrow to have a meeting, that would not allow you time
If I
for
made a
Friday.
decision right now to have a meeting,
Madam
then
Chair,
we could have it on Friday, correct? Yeah.
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
called one of the township board members and they did not respond to me, because I asked the question about this issue and left him a voicemail, but he did not call me back. So I don't know what, the township evidently didn't have any concerns with them, thinking they would call me back if they did.
I guess,
If we pass the preliminary, we still gotta do the final plat, right?
Yep.
So if we pass the preliminary, can we, then when it comes back for final approval, can we discuss additional stipulations at the final approval?
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'd be locking in these conditions as are with this preliminary plat today, right?
Right, Board Chair, Commissioners, the way Minnesota statutes treat preliminary and final plat, the preliminary plat stage is where the board has the most power to impose conditions, ensure those conditions are complied with. The final plat stage is really viewed at just ensuring that the
Conditions are met.
applicant has met those conditions as well as ordinance requirements. So you don't have the ability at the final plat stage to add on new conditions. If you're going to put conditions on a plat, it occurs at the preliminary plat stage.
Okay, thank you. And then my other question is, Commissioner Newman, I know this is a concern of yours in your district, and Commissioner Erickson, you are on the Planning Commission. Commissioner Newman, did you send a letter or discuss it with the Planning Commission before they?
I've had more conversations with the board chair of the Planning Commission in the last 6 months than I've had.
Okay. And how did they vote at the Planning Commission, Commissioner Erickson?
I don't think it's been voted on
No,
yet.
it was the preliminary, to get to the point of the recommendation for the preliminary plat, these conditions were voted 5-0 in favor.
That's what I'm asking, how it was
Yep.
voted on for the
Yep.
conditions.
Five.
Five,
Zero.
And it's similar to this board, Mr. Kircher. It's the fact that you gotta have information. And these guys are trying to make decisions on plats when they don't have all the information. And then it comes to us, and we don't have all the information. So it's really getting concerning for me. What we need to do is get the information out so everybody's on the damn same page.
I guess I would ask the board if you would be open to a meeting or Chris, we could have this Zoom meeting too, could we not?
Madam Chair, we could do it in any fashion that you would like.
And I would suggest if we would agree to that today, then we could set one up for Friday. We'd make it the 3 days. If we set it right now, we could have a Zoom meeting on Friday.
We could do that. We'd also have facilities and safety that would be taking place Friday morning.
Friday morning. So we could either do it or in person.
Madam Chair, I just have a
Yep.
point here. Reading through all the stuff that we were sent out on this, I mean, it looks like we put this in front of what is versed as the dirt team and had a meeting here. And I believe there was representation at that meeting from the township.
Yep.
And if I could just clarify the date on when that meeting took place, I'm seeing the updated information as 12/3,
12-3 was a planning commission meeting.
okay?
So the dirt team meeting would have been on either Zoom, people Zoomed in, or we're here in person, and that was on December 1st.
On December 1st.
Yep, and outside of that, before we even received the application, we sent out an email to our dirt team with just some preliminary information so that they could comment on it before the application was even submitted.
Which also went to the township.
Yep, and all those same people that are on the dirt team, that was back in August. And then the township, DNR, and all the neighboring landowners would have gotten the official notice required by our ordinance. I forget what one that was, in September or October. I think in September. So the township would have been notified essentially 3 times throughout this process.
From November on.
Well, August, then the
Yes.
official notice, and then they were a part of that Zoom meeting in December also.
And in the comments here from the 12/3 updates, it's noted by Leslie Township that they would not recommend connecting the two of the representation during that particular meeting from that
Yep.
township member.
But Commissioner-
And Rod, if I can, we're seeing this all along where we're getting conflicting back from the township itself. One says yes, one says no. And I think Chris has had conversation with them also. One member will say yes, one member will say no. So I guess that's why this meeting tonight, it
when
would
you-
be nice for the township to actually have a vote. Where are they actually standing on this?
And Madam Chair, that's right, because I can go to a meeting too and make comments about this board, which I wouldn't, because without the votes and without the conversation and the decision-making of the other four commissioners, I'm nothing. I can go in and say, well, geez, you know, the county board's gonna do this, this, and this. We can't do that. It has to be voted on. And that's where the township, I haven't seen anything from Gordon Township. Did you send anything to Gordon Township?
They wouldn't have been required to be noticed per our ordinance requirements.
But they
because-
own half the road.
But the development was in Leslie Township.
Doesn't matter. They own half of 210th Street.
Yeah, I apologize.
Way to maintain that.
Our ordinance requires the township and the location of it to be notified.
And I'm coming back to this, it just surprises me that the township didn't address it during how many meetings from August till now? And were aware of it the whole time and yet had representation here?
And I
So they didn't discuss it in September, October, November, till now?
I don't know. I don't know with COVID. I don't even know if they were even meeting.
Well, Commissioner Erickson, you're right, because if there's anything in my district, then the townships will get on the phone and hound me and say, I don't want this, I do want it, or whatever. So no one's has called me. I tried calling them, they didn't respond to me, so.
It just seems a little odd to me.
It does. Jason, I got another question for you. Does this require archaeological study due to the fact the location of Battle Point Park?
I don't believe there is anything required in the ordinance. I think, if I remember, the DNR was notified of this, and I don't know if they had any objection to it, so I'm not necessarily, I don't believe it does.
So we required one when we were gonna move Highway 27. Paul Reavers was the lawyer on that one.
Right.
Okay.
Did that project involve federal funding in any way, shape, or
No.
form? Okay.
Nope. Interesting.
I guess I would like to ask the board what their consent is, if we would return to this topic on Friday at like 11 o'clock, either in person or a Zoom meeting. I would set one up. That way we can have the information from this township. It is the most interesting plat I've been involved with the two roads coming together, partial township, partial land owned. It's very interesting, and the way they overlap is the other thing. You know, who actually has a say on these roads? So I guess I would like to pursue with a Friday 11 o'clock meeting to take this topic back up, and let's hear from the township.
So I'll move the table till Friday.
Okay? Then it'll be tabled till Friday, and we can put the notice out now that we'll have a 1 o'clock meeting, either here or via Zoom, for discussion of this one topic.
Madam Chair, I have a meeting scheduled Friday, and 1 o'clock's gonna be tight for me, but,
11 o'clock, excuse me,
11 o'clock.
11.
Well, then I won't be able to.
You will not.
No.
1 o'clock works better?
Yeah, I
Or-
thought you said 1, so.
Yeah, or 12:30. I mean, I guess I'm open to a time. We have to wait until Friday. The other one, we have 9 o'clock, facility, 10 o'clock, safety, so we could do it earlier. We could do an 8 o'clock meeting.
My meeting is at 9.
Madam Chair, you could run it next week, you'd still be in your 10-day timeframe.
Yep.
You don't
Yeah.
have to do it this Friday, you have 10 days. So you could toast it for next Tuesday. I'm just giving you options, if you're gonna do
Okay.
a different meeting. You don't have to feel pressured to do it this Friday.
I think
The
120 days would be
26th.
Thursday of next week? I don't have a calendar in front of me, so.
28th is Thursday.
We have one watershed, one plan for Long Prairie River,
Yeah.
Thursday from
Earlier in
9
the
to
week
noon.
obviously would be a better option, but we're still within our time frame to make a decision.
Tuesday works better. My wife has doctor appointment on Monday, so.
So, and I'm off because that's this Thursday, not next Thursday. Okay, so when would it work?
Monday?
Monday?
That don't work for me. I just said I have a wife. My wife has a doctor's appointment, so
Okay.
26th.
Tuesday? And we have to make sure we do this meeting because otherwise everything passes.
Yep.
With no
So
conditions.
what does Friday look like one more time? Friday
Madam Chair,
work better?
This
Yes.
Friday would be fine, next Friday would be out of the question, just.
It's too late.
Yep.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon?
Friday afternoon?
Yeah.
What time works for you, Dave?
Well, after 1 o'clock is, well, wait a minute, no. My wife has doctor's appointment at 1:40. 3 o'clock would probably work better.
Okay.
Friday at 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, yep. It's only gonna take 15 minutes. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Think?
maybe.
At 3 o'clock. And then you guys will post that?
Yeah, you have to have a second. Randy made the motion.
Okay, Randy made a motion. Commissioner Newman, is there a second? Is there a second?
To table it, or?
For the meeting time, I think they're
For the
asking.
meeting time.
Oh, 3 o'clock on Friday?
3 o'clock on Friday, I'm asking for a second for 3 o'clock on Friday for a meeting. It's,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Kircher. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
You can
Thank
hang on
you.
the line if you want, or you can log off.
I'll log off.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
again.
Yep, bye.
Okay, the next item this morning is the Ilias Estates final plat. A subdivision request to establish a two-lot preliminary plat on parcel 1400244700 in Candota Township was approved for preliminary platting on December 15, 2020. The preliminary plat was approved with just one condition, that no further subdivision happen of the approved plat. Planning and zoning has completed the review of the preliminary plat and determined that all the requirements have been met for final platting. So the option would be moved to approve the request for establishment of the Ilias Estates final plat or deny this request for final platting. And the recommendation at this time would be approve final platting of the Ilias Estates plat on parcel 1400244700 with just the one condition.
Okay, is there a motion for approval?
I'll move it.
Motion by Newman, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Erickson. Any discussion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, this is the one that, we went, off the state ordinance and the state statute says 150 feet.
Yep.
We did do a split on this one. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us on other lakes. And people want to start splitting their lake lots.
We did have a variance. This did went before the Board of Adjustments, and a variance was granted for that exact width restriction. So they did get the appropriate piece in place prior to this decision.
Oh, once you do it, it's done, so,
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? And it carries. Then,
Okay. Last item here this morning is carry forward funds. Attached is the budget request form details specifying carry forward funds related to planning and zoning and the soil and water. That would be carried forward into the 2021 budget. The option would be to authorize these funds to carry forward into 2021 or do not authorize the carry forward, and the recommendation would be to authorize the carry forward for the planning and zoning funds and soil and water funds as outlined in the budget request form.
okay, is there a motion for the carry forward funds?
So moved.
Motion, or by Kircher, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kneisel. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Thank you, Adam.
All right, our first board action form is to go over the MFIP biennial contract addendum, second year, 2020 to 2021. We should have Evie Fowler on the line from SEP, who is a team lead. Evie, are you on?
I am.
Great, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
I'm going to go over some background, and then I will let Evie speak, just to do a quick update, a brief update to the board. Then Lisa, if there's any questions as well. Counties are required to have a biennial service agreement approved by the Minnesota Department of Human Services to receive consolidated funds for the Minnesota Family Investment Program. The purpose of the biennial service agreement is to provide DHS with information about services and strategies intended to meet measures with the goal of increasing economic stability of low-income families using MFIP. Evie, I'll let you quickly do your update here.
Well, I apologize. I didn't have an update from Brian. I was just told I was going to be introduced to the group. So I guess I can tell you a little bit about myself. I've been with Wadena Career Force Center just a little over 3 months. So if you have questions, I sure can try to answer them or take it back to Brian. So I apologize for that. Have any questions?
Are there any questions, commissioners?
Lisa?
Yeah.
Evie, this is Lisachapin. Could you please?
Hi.
Hi. Could you please just do a quick run through on the services that you provide?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'd just like to say that I am excited to work with you guys, and we are looking to, the importance of using the funds and being good stewards of that and helping clients get back into the workforce and into the communities and helping the communities grow. So we have all kinds of things that we do to attain that, which I am learning along the way here in my new role. But we work with clients and we really assess them to find the needs and try to get them in all the programs that we can to help them improve their situations and to get into the workforce. And we've had a lot of successes. With COVID, it's been a little difficult. We haven't been able to do all of the things that we would have liked to in the ways that we like to do to accomplish these goals. So that much I can tell you. Any other questions?
I do, Commissioner Kircher.
Hi.
Do you, how many counties do you cover?
How many counties did you say? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
3.
Okay.
It's Todd, Wadena, and Hubbard, and we covered with our other
Okay.
teams.
All right, and then Jackie, or do we have an office here? We used to have an office, I thought, for them.
We do have an office that is here. They have been off-site providing the
Okay,
services.
with COVID, obviously.
Right.
But, so they do have an office here, and
Right.
what does it look like for Todd County as far as low-income services are? Is it increasing or decreasing?
I believe it's increasing from my MFIP counselor, which I'm really excited. We have a new MFIP counselor. She's been with us 6 months, Holly Bowen, and she is really aggressive working to get these clients the help that they need, going above and beyond, and I'm real excited about that. I think it has increased with COVID.
Okay,
No.
thank you. With COVID, obviously, the first round was unemployment up to $600 a week, which is a pretty healthy boost for most people. Some of us don't even make that working. What effect did that have on your helping people?
Oh my goodness, big effects, yes. And also the restriction that was lifted that they don't have to get their plan signed and get them into us. That's been really difficult because they have no responsibility now. There won't be any sanctions. They just aren't getting their information in. So she's gotten some creative ways and reaching out to them and is getting some of that accomplished and trying to get more when you do get that response from them to really, hone in and get it all done as much as you can instead of make that next appointment, which they usually just cancel or just fail to get on the phone or to mail things back to us. We've done a lot of creative things like out in the parking lot, meeting and exchanging boxes for signatures and sanitizing in between. So we've been trying to help with that. But yeah, that's been really huge. There's not a lot of motivation. And that's one thing that she's really working hard on, is getting them excited about working and the life that they can have, and who they can become, and how we can help with that, with training and schooling and all of those amenities out there that are right there for them. And we are going to help them through that whole process so they are successful. So yeah, that's been big. Thank you for bringing that up.
And thank you, and one last question, do you have more employers reaching out to you now? Because some of these people did not want to go back to work. So do you have more employers reaching out to you to seek workers?
A good question. Yeah, we have been reaching out to them actually, and they're saying we're for the most part they're waiting on this to blow over. We're trying to get work sites. We actually have 3 in the works. They're holding back with the COVID. They're not sure they want to bring them on. But we are reaching out more than they're reaching in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so I will move to the options. Options are to approve the MFIP biennial contract addendum second year 2020 through 2021 for a program administration by Todd County, or to not approve. It's our recommendation to approve the MFIP biennial contract addendum second year 2020 through 2021 for program administration by Todd County. This is an increase of $2,250 from last year.
Okay, hearing Jackie, is there a motion for approval? Motion by Kircher, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Kanizel. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's passed.
Thank you for calling in, Abby. I do appreciate it. Lisa, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. I appreciate it. Can't wait to meet all of you.
It'll be nice to be in person again sometime soon. I
Yes.
hope.
Thanks so much.
If we ever get there.
Next couple of years.
Yeah.
We will. We will.
All right, our second board action form is to update you all again regarding the COVID-19 situation. As of January 19th, 2021, Todd County has had 2,317 lab-confirmed cases and 31 COVID-related deaths. Cases no longer in isolation are 2,296, which is 99% of the population. Male, female, it's 46.6% male with 52.6% female. Age range is 2 months to 103 years with a case average age range of 44.5. Total COVID tests performed in Todd County as of January 14th, 2021 is 19,863 with a 10.6 cumulative positivity rate. Our current case rate that we again work with through the schools from January 6th through January 19th, which is a total of 60 cases, is 24.55. And I have Catherine here. Tomorrow, yesterday being a holiday and being out, we were notified last week by MDH to exhaust our current stock that we have here at the county. With that, we are very fortunate to have that beautiful building out at the fairgrounds that we could schedule or set up a schedule to administer large numbers of our residents to receive their first dose of COVID-19, 65 and plus. So they gave us really one business day to get it done before the weekend hit, and Martin Luther King Day and today. So in all reality, one business day to get our stuff together. So we did our best with what we had, and the building being set up with 3 lanes, we set that building up for 5 lanes to accommodate 290 appointments. It filled up quickly. We put it out on KUIL. We did a PSA, which is a public service announcement. We already missed the deadline for the papers, and we thought by the time it did get out into the public, it probably would have been full, and that happened and filled by the end of the day. And we planned to put it on the radio station in Staples, and by the time they got that message, it was full. So we knew we had a lot of interest in our community. We filled all of those slots, and we do have remaining people that are contacting us looking for appointments yet. So I'm hoping we have more than one day in the near future, and I'm hoping that we have more than just, we have many, many more clinics to be able to offer this vaccine to individuals. So, Catherine, I'll let you take it over from here.
Yeah, I mean, this all was sort of started with the federal announcement last week, Tuesday, I believe it was, that they want the vaccine rollout to go quicker. So they made the charge to all the states to start releasing more vaccine and to prioritize 65 plus. That was a change. Initially, the next 1B, we'll call it population, was going to be critical infrastructure workers and 75 plus. So it was a bit of a shift. So then the state, of course, had to figure out how they were going to make this change. At this point, what we're hearing from the Department of Health as of yesterday is that they aren't being allocated any more vaccine from the federal government yet. But there was a direction from the governor that if we had any remaining doses, which we had 320 doses, 30 is allocated to a group home this week. So we had 290 remaining doses that we had to get rid of or put into arms by the end of this week. So we are fortunate to have the expo building and the ability to scale up. That's the whole point. So we had to get rid of 290 doses. We have offered the vaccine to all of our 1A priority groups. Some counties haven't done that yet. So if there's questions, why is Todd County running to 65 plus already? We have offered it. We've covered our assisted livings, our group homes. We've offered it to our eye doctors, our dental clinics. Have they all taken us up on our offer? No, but we've offered it to everyone. So we felt very comfortable moving on to 65 plus. So just like Jackie said, Friday morning I went in, recorded a radio ad, went on open mic. We changed our website. If you didn't see on the top, you could schedule, and within 5 hours from 10 to 3 p.m., we filled those 290 slots. It was actually very exciting for our staff. Of course, we had a lot of phone calls, and we expected that. You know, some people just aren't able to schedule online, and that's completely fine. I think 220 scheduled via phone, and our staff, it was actually quite exciting because I think we all know there's so much interest in the vaccine, and people were so grateful, which I think is exciting. It sort of created a telethon type thing where you're watching that number tick up, you know, and at 3 o'clock, I think I scheduled our last person. We hit 290. So we're trying to make sure the public's aware that this is not our first and only vaccination clinic. This was unique because we weren't really given the time to really plan as much as we wanted to for this next population we'll be vaccinating. As of this week, we aren't receiving any additional first doses. Next week, we don't know yet. So the difficult thing is we sort of find out over the weekend how many doses they'll be sending us. They then arrive on Tuesday, and then we're being told to basically have all those doses out by the end of the week. So it is going to be a very quick turnaround on our end. We really like that we've set up Wednesdays as our schedule. But as you know, the difficult thing with this vaccine is it's 2 doses. So anyone who gets vaccinated tomorrow is then vaccinated February 17th. So now that clinic date has 300 already automatically scheduled. So that means probably adding additional clinic dates at some point and coordinating that. Our goal in all of this is to be one of many options who is offering the vaccine. Healthcare is working towards that end. I don't know if anyone heard this morning, but Centricare is beginning to offer it to 65 plus. And some of our other healthcare systems, I'm sure, will follow suit as they get more vaccine. So the goal is just like a flu shot. You can get your vaccine with us. You can get it with your healthcare system, maybe with Coburn's Pharmacy. It's just going to be, unfortunately, the rollout is not going to be smooth. And it's not going to be as equitable as we'd like. You know, we'd like to make sure that our most vulnerable are getting the population first. It's a little bit more challenging, but it'll be nice when healthcare starts to roll it out because they can better prioritize those populations than we can. You know, we have to we don't really have a way besides their age and where they live in order to sort of put some criteria on that. So there were some questions about if you've had COVID, the virus itself, in the last few weeks, should you get the vaccine or not? I just want people to know if you've had it. Basically, if you've come out of your infection period, they're saying to wait 2 weeks, right, before you get the vaccine. But I'd also let people know is you have at least 90 days immunity, so maybe allow someone else to get in line before you, as we have this limited supply at this time. So I'll stop there.
Kathleen.
Catherine, sorry.
I'm trying to think of my words to come. What supply are the clinics getting? Per se, Long Prairie and Staples. Now, we're getting that close to that 300 you're talking about. What number are they receiving?
We don't exactly know what Centricare has received. They go through the Healthcare Coalition. They get a different, they get Pfizer, where we're getting Moderna, but we really don't know their total volume. They are getting different communication than we have been getting. You know, they were not approved to move to the 65 plus until I think maybe late last week, later than we were. So it's been a struggle for us to be, you know, working in conjunction when we get the message before they get the message. And the rollout looks just a little bit different depending on what facility you're with.
Okay. Surrounding counties, where are their numbers at? Are they close to what we're doing, or are they not?
Based on their population size, they are close, I think. So you look at Morrison County, who's got a greater population than we do, so their numbers are a little bit higher. But we, and Wadena is a smaller county of size, and their numbers are a little bit smaller. But in the grand scheme of thing, very, very similar for rollout. I know Morrison and Wadena, as of last week, we're still working through their phase 1A population, but they don't have the facility we have either. So, I mean, we are very fortunate that you all have allowed us to set that building up to be a vaccine facility, and I along with our residents, thank you for allowing that, and for us to be leading in that, and having a clinic of such sorts.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
on a brighter note, I was in the Expo building last week, so I was sitting with some people, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna ask them what they think of the building. So I said, what do you guys think? They said, this is beautiful. This is, where have you been? What's taken so long? One lady said, I was in here one day and snowflakes were falling on my head. So we were sitting in there with our coats off. It was comfortable, it was beautiful, it was actually quiet. So the compliments.
It's warm?
Yeah, oh, beautiful. So people are, I think, really pleased with what it looks like and what it's doing. And actually, I think we're far ahead of other counties in what we've done and spent our money on. So for future issues, for future events, it's a beautiful building.
And Madam Chair, may I say, what a way to showcase that building and the work that's been done in it.
And then I have one other question. The age limit or age brackets you have is from 2 months to 103. I think I saw before, was it smaller than 3 months, 1 month or something? Was there one?
I think it's been 2 months for quite some time.
Okay. So anyway, how do they know that? Are they testing at birth, or how are they testing? Are they? Okay.
And again, babies will get tested if their parents, you know, tested positive. So it's happened.
Okay. I thought maybe, I was just wondering.
They do test at birth as well.
Okay, because you can't, the little guy couldn't tell you symptoms. So
Yeah.
I was wondering how they were coming up with the test. No, they had to test them. So, okay, that answers that. Thank you.
So, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Randy.
Catherine, I need to get information like the phone number and the website that I can tape at home up on the wall, so when people call me, I can direct them. Because I went online the other night, got your number here and said, here, call Catherine, because,
Thank
you
you.
know, people want to schedule,
They do.
and it's hard for me, and it's like, oh, shit, you know, I don't know, I ain't got it. So,
And I appreciate them calling. I will say I had 24 voicemails. So thank you for that, Commissioner Newman. We are taking these calls, and it is a very difficult thing because we'd love to keep scheduling people. At this time, what our message is the clinic is full tomorrow. We can't keep scheduling for future clinics because we don't know how much vaccine we're going to get. So we are unfortunately telling people that we're not creating a wait list at this time. We're telling people to listen to the radio, right, and to watch the website. And some people say, okay, well, I'm still going to call you every day. And we say, okay, you can still call every day if you want to. If you dial our main number, 4500, right, 732-4500, and press 1. That is our COVID sort of direct line as well. As soon as we can set up these clinics and have them just sort of be open to whoever wants to schedule, we will get you that information on where they should call. But right now, it's still our main number.
I appreciate that because, like I said, I don't have that information.
And we wish we could tell everyone when. I think that's the most difficult thing. Like Jackie said, we were actually excited to offer this to 65 plus, but it also felt a little bit, it was much quicker than we anticipated. And also it felt like, oh geez, at least we got 290 done, but how do we start making this where anyone can access it? And you're absolutely right. We need to do a better job of that. I do think healthcare will have a much better way to sort of get their client population notified just because they have that ability. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that everyone's aware of where do you call, where do you go to schedule as soon as we can. Our next goal is to really truly open up our clinics, probably 2 days a week. It'll have to be, so that we can start just letting people schedule when they want to.
And we really want to do a better job of reaching people border to border. And I know we weren't able to do that this time, and that doesn't feel good to me. But we're going to be talking more about that. How can we do a better job to make sure that everybody within our county is offered the vaccine? And it's an equitable distribution as much as we can do that. Possibly using our code red system. So we'll be looking at that and working with Mike Wisniewski about messages through that.
And
Jackie,
go ahead.
to make a point on that, my neighbor said last night, he told me that he got an appointment. So that's north end of the county. So
Good.
But he told another neighbor about it, and 3:30 he called, and he was filled up already, so.
Late, yeah.
Yeah, it was very quick. I mean, the other thing we've talked to Lakewood and Tri-County and Central Care on as part of our Healthy Connections group is doing joint messaging as well, that we don't have to be, again, when we can put that message out that anyone who's 65 plus, please call your provider, please call the county if that's a better option, that kind of thing. It would be nice. I just want to make you aware, in case you didn't see the press release and the governor's announcement yesterday about the 9 pilot sites that will be opening up. So it appears that 9 pilot sites starting at noon today will be available across the state. St. Cloud, Fergus Falls are the nearest ones to us to start mass vaccination. He's calling it a pilot because, again, they don't really have enough vaccine to even do a ton of people, but the priority will still be 65 plus. And then they've also started to cover the schools and childcare staff. So every school district was allocated a certain amount of doses and then told they can schedule. So Long Prairie, for example, had 5 doses allocated to their district at this time and are basically set to go to Fergus Falls to be vaccinated. It's not ideal, and I think we all know that. But the goal is to get something in place that can be built upon. So just so you're aware, there is a link that will go live, I believe, on the state website, so people can start scheduling, and a phone number to start scheduling. The state is also creating a wait list, so that's helpful as well. So if you're aware, that information will be coming out, and those will be opening up this week.
Have you thought about utilizing the chamber sign at the end of Main Street for advertising? I haven't seen it, but.
We are talking about when we are able to open up those clinics and they don't fill in 5 hours, how can we best advertise and getting electronic signature. That is something that is.
Absolutely. I mean, we didn't put it on Facebook intentionally because we knew it would be, again, we didn't need to promote it that much. It very quickly filled up. So yes, in the future we'll be doing the chamber, we'll be doing Facebook, we'll be doing all the basic communication. We'll make sure we get everything out in Spanish as well. We weren't able to do that this time either. So we'll make sure we do a much better job. But at least it's a start, I'll say, and it's a good test for all our staff tomorrow. It'll be all hands on deck, and that'll be a really great way to really test the building and doing 300 shots in, basically 9 hours.
Madam Chair, one more question. Side effects. What have you been getting reported back for side effects from the shot, besides a sore arm?
Well, the side effects have been a little bit different depending on the individual and whether they've had COVID or not. So I got the shot and my arm was sore for 3 days, similar to getting a tetanus shot. I've heard some people who've had COVID have more fevers, high fevers, and some people just tiredness. And just generalized aches.
Okay.
But other than that,
And that's the first dose. I think we've heard a lot about the second dose having possibly more side effects for a day or two. You know, more of those COVID-like symptoms, fever, aches, muscle aches, you know, chills, headache, that kind of thing. Again, we haven't done our second doses yet. Those will happen next week. So we'll report back on that. But right, it does appear that those who've had COVID seem to have more reactions and more side effects than those who haven't had COVID.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
Chris?
Madam Chair, I have a couple of board actions this morning regarding our union contracts. The first one is the 2021 jail dispatch contract. The background is the Todd County negotiations team met with the jail dispatch union representatives, and we have reached a tentative agreement. Highlights of the agreement include no change to health insurance premium, cost sharing, a 2% general wage increase for 2021, elimination of the separate check for holiday pay, elimination of the sick leave bonus, and an increase of clothing allowance for jailers of $50. The options are to adopt the tentative agreed jail dispatch contract or do not adopt, and the recommendation is the Todd County Board of Commissioners authorize the adoption of the jail dispatch unit collective bargaining agreement for 2021.
I guess if there's any discussion, any questions ahead of time, otherwise I'll ask for a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Kircher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Erickson. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Say- Opposed? And it carries.
Thank you. The second board action is the 2021 Sheriff's Supervisory Contract. The background is the Todd County negotiations team met with the Sheriff's Supervisory Union representatives, and we have reached a tentative agreement. Highlights of the agreement include no change to health insurance premium, cost sharing, a 2% general wage increase for 2021, and moving the records coordinator position to this union. And if I may also add the elimination of the sick leave bonus to that as well. So the options are to adopt the tentative agreed sheriff supervisory contract or to not adopt, and the recommendation is to the Todd County Board of Commissioners authorize the adoption of the sheriff supervisory unit collective bargaining agreement for 2021.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Kircher. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Newman. Discussion?
Yep, Madam Chair, I just want to, I know that it says general wage increase for 2021. It is a one-year contract, so I just want to make that clear that we will start negotiations again. The reason we did a one-year contract is we are not, Barb and I sat on the negotiating team, we are not sure of what our county program aid is going to be and what effect COVID is going to have on a lot of issues here, so we wanted to stick with a one-year contract, and all the unions are aware of that, so we made that quite clear to them. The health insurance part of it, we started out asking for a premium that they pay, co-pay, but it turned out we didn't get that far, but I think that's going to resurface again in our future contracts, so.
Yes. Is there a motion? Did I ask for a motion?
I already moved.
Okay, you moved.
Randy seconded.
Randy seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Madam Chair, the next board action that I have is to approve the county grant relief program for small businesses and nonprofits. If I can just kind of give a little bit of background on this, we did bring for discussion at the last board meeting the grant relief program. The direction that we were given from the board at that time was to run the program by the Todd County Development Corporation. So that group did meet last Monday. We had some discussion about what our thoughts were on the program. There were some suggestions made to adjust the priorities. So we have adjusted those priorities of the program to have priority one be those businesses who have not received any direct funding from the county for grant relief. That would be the first priority. The second priority would be, again, those same businesses that applied the last time, businesses that were required to close. That would be the second priority. And the third priority would be businesses that were indirectly impacted by those businesses that had to close. So good suggestions from that group. I'll just go through the background of this board action. Additional funds have been received from the state to provide relief to businesses and nonprofits affected by Executive Order 20-99 and related closures. Todd County Economic Development Director has created a county relief grant program with an application and guidelines to disperse the funds to eligible businesses and nonprofits who meet the listed criteria. This has been reviewed by the Todd County Development Corporation and recommended to bring forward for approval. And the options are to approve the county grant relief program for small businesses and nonprofits or not approve, and the recommendation is to approve the county grant relief program for small businesses and nonprofits.
Okay, before I ask for a motion, I will be abstaining from this. So at that, I'll ask for a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion by Kircher, second Erickson. Discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may, you sent out to us guys, the Development Corporation, the preliminary application. I'm assuming that went through, Rick?
Yes.
And instructions. Could each board member have a copy of that so we know what, if somebody calls us?
Yes,
So-
Madam Chair, I will get that sent out to the
Okay.
commissioners.
Which is really good, because I did have a phone call of someone that wanted an application, and I was able to give them one at that time. Yes, very good. Okay, any further discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may add, the timeframe for this application period is going to be starting today, and it will run through February 19th. We will have the application and the guidelines posted on the website today, and a press release will go out as well. We'll do some radio advertising, and it will also get put in the papers.
Okay, very good. Any further discussion from the board?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I want to thank Rick for his hard work, and Chris. They've been working their tails off trying to get this done in a quick fashion and trying to move this along. So I want to thank them for their hard work again, because I know they're going to be doing a lot more probably research on this application to get everything, make sure everything's okay, and pass it through. So.
Okay, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
And it carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, the last item that I have is the added agenda item, which is an update on the Expo building. And at the last board meeting, there was discussion on the men's bathroom where the sink is located, the area between the sink and the shower area. I did go out and measure that distance between those two areas, and it came up at 35 inches. So I was in contact with the architect and the contractor. They have since corrected that issue. They removed the sink, put in a new sink, and that distance now is 36.5 inches.
Okay, thank you.
Took a sawzall and cut the sink off.
Any discussion on it? I don't believe we need a vote or anything. It's more of an informational
Rick.
so that it gets recorded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Standing reports. Auditor Treasurer,
I have nothing, Madam Chair.
Chris?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Okay. Commissioners? I guess if anything would be the solid waste meeting. Several of us were involved in it different times, and so just to let the board know that that's in the process and it's in the beginning stages. Okay. If not, I'll ask for a motion, or the transfer station, yeah, in Burrville, yep. If not, any more business to come before the board, I'll ask for a motion for adjournment till the next meeting, and I do not have a calendar.
So moved.
Recess?
Pardon?
To adjourn.
To adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by, motion by
Newman.
Newman, seconded by Kneisel. The meeting's adjourned. When is the next meeting, Chris?
Madam Chair, it will be Friday. Did we determine Friday at 3?
Yes. So should we adjourn this then? We should have been adjourned instead of
Oh, recess.
recessed. Do we have to take that back? Because it should be recessed. I forgot about the special
We
meeting.
adjourn our county board meetings, that this is not a county board regular meeting, it's a special meeting, so we adjourn
Okay.
now and have a special meeting.
Yeah, it's fine because it's
Yeah,
a special meeting.
yeah, it's okay.